Drip, drip, drip. Yeah, I'ma go.
Welcome to Talk Drip, presented by On My Feet, the first social network exclusively for sneakerheads and hypebeasts. Now available on the App Store and Google Play. Last week, Nike dropped a long-awaited SB Dunk Low, Jordan Brand gave us a couple of new retros, and Kanye West is doing way too fucking much. Let's get started.
Drip, drip, drip.
The biggest release of last week would have to be this, the Nike SB Dunk Low Street Hawker. Now, I don't even wear dunks, and even I know that this shoe's a banger. Somehow, Nike always seems to go out of their way for Chinese New Year. Designed by Chinese artist Jason Deng, he says that the What The-inspired colorway pays homage to the bonding effect the culture of cuisine has in China. Deng says inspiration for the colorway came from 6 different Chinese dishes from 6 different Chinese cities. Before release day, the sneaker was doing anywhere from $600 to $800 on the resale market. After release day, a slight dip in price is common, but because of the hype colorway, I see it climbing back up pretty soon. Definitely a cop, especially if you don't mind every other person coming up to you and asking you, why do you have 2 different sneakers on? This sneaker released on January 22nd for the retail price of $110. Another notable drop last week was this, the Air Jordan 5 Low in the CNY colorway. Now this next statement is important. The Air Jordan 5 is the greatest sneaker silhouette of all time. This is not up for debate. The shoe's like stepping into a shower, and the water's the perfect temperature. It's like biting into a popsicle, and it doesn't give you brain freeze. It's like waking up in the morning, and Trump isn't president. It doesn't get much better than the Jordan 5. And the 5 Low is fine too. Now we usually get low top Jordans once or twice every year. But if I'm correct, we don't really get low top 5s as much as we get like low top 11s. Actually, now that I think of it, we don't get a low top anything as much as we get a low top 11. But staying on brand for Chinese New Year's, Jordan Brand gave us this, the CNY Air Jordan 5 Low. It's a fairly standard colorway, nothing too crazy, so I don't see it reselling for too much. But I do see it selling out on sneakers. So if you want it, make sure to check your local retailers a couple days before release. And if you really want it, make sure to check your online retailers multiple days before release. The Yeezy Boost 700 also dropped last week in the Sun colorway. And no, there isn't a problem with your phone screen. You're just looking at a yellow Wave Runner. For who doesn't know, the Wave Runner was the OG Yeezy Boost 700. It was the first and hands down the most popular colorway. After releasing 3, maybe 4 times, it's still sitting pretty at $500 to $600 on the resale market. This is the exact same sneaker, except yellow. Another important detail is that the Wave Runner retailed for $300. The second round of the Wave Runner, the Sun colorway, is going to retail for $240, which is irrelevant to me because the retail price of this could be an expired CVS coupon, and I would still want nothing to do with it. Now, considering we're on hiatus next week, I want to take a second to introduce our newest segment, Drip to the Future, presented to you by the Nike Air Mag. Are you a guy with some empty shelf space and your grandmother's inheritance? Do you want to spend thousands of dollars on a sneaker you should never and won't ever wear? Well then look no further because the Nike Air Mag is just for you. For the low price of like $20,000 or something, you can look just like Seth Rogen at the 2017 Oscars. Now usually with the show, we like to recap last week's drops. But with Drip to the Future, I want to spotlight a drop that's coming up in the next few weeks. In this episode, I want to bring up this, the Yeezy Boost 700 V2 in the cream colorway. Now, half of my sources say that this sneaker is supposed to come out in the next 2 weeks. The other half of my sources say we're not supposed to see a release till late March, which means this sneaker probably doesn't even exist. But that's beside the point. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, this looks a little familiar. And that's because it should, because 2 years ago, Adidas released this, the Yeezy Boost 700 V2 in the static colorway. Now, I know Adidas is so unoriginal, we want something new, but frankly, this time, I don't care. You guys can suck it up. I wear my statics at least a couple times every month, and I love them. So I'm very excited about his younger brother. Now the Static 700 V2, there's about $800 or so on the resale market, but you can expect a slight bump up after the release of the creams. And also remember, if you plan to buy any Yeezys in 2021, always size up. And
drip, drip, drip. Yeah, I'ma go.